I knew I was different from a very young age. I hated wearing dresses, playing with dolls, and doing anything that was considered girly. I preferred hanging out with boys, playing sports, and dressing in jeans and t-shirts. I felt like I was a boy trapped in a girl's body, and I wished I could change it. I did not know what transgender meant, or that it was even possible to transition. I just thought I was weird and wrong, and I tried to hide and suppress my feelings. I grew up in a conservative and religious family, where gender roles were strictly enforced. My parents expected me to behave like a proper lady, and they punished me whenever I acted too masculine. They also taught me that being gay or transgender was a sin, and that God would not love me if I was one of them. I was terrified of disappointing my parents and God, so I tried to conform and fit in. I dated boys, wore makeup, and pretended to be happy. But I was not happy. I was miserable and depressed. I hated myself and my body, and I wished I could die. I did not learn about transgender people until I was in college. I stumbled upon some online articles and videos about transgender issues and stories, and I was amazed and intrigued. I realized that there were other people like me, and that they were brave enough to transition and live as their true selves. I felt a glimmer of hope and curiosity, and I started to research more about transgender topics. I also joined some online forums and chat groups, where I met other transgender people who were supportive and friendly. They helped me understand myself better, and they encouraged me to explore my gender identity and expression. I decided to experiment with my appearance and presentation. I cut my hair short, bought some masculine clothes, and started to bind my chest. I also chose a new name and pronouns, and asked my online friends to use them. I felt a surge of joy and relief, and I liked what I saw in the mirror. I felt more confident and comfortable, and I felt like I was finally being myself. I realized that I was a transgender man, and that I wanted to transition. One of the hardest parts of transitioning was coming out to my family and friends. I was afraid of how they would react, and if they would accept me or reject me. Unfortunately, my fears came true. My parents were shocked and angry, and they refused to acknowledge or support me. They said I was confused and delusional, and that I needed to repent and pray. They tried to force me to go to conversion therapy, and they threatened to disown me if I did not stop my transition. I was heartbroken and devastated, and I had no choice but to leave home and cut ties with them. My friends were not much better. Some of them were supportive and understanding, but others were ignorant and hateful. They mocked me, bullied me, and spread rumors about me. They called me names, misgendered me, and dead-named me, used my old name. They also excluded me from their social circles and activities, and made me feel unwelcome and unwanted. I felt betrayed and hurt, and I lost many of my friends. I also faced discrimination and harassment from strangers in society. I was often stared at, laughed at, or insulted in public places. I was denied access to bathrooms, locker rooms, and other gender-segregated spaces. I was rejected from jobs, housing, and services because of my gender identity. I was also subjected to violence and abuse from transphobic people who wanted to harm me. I was scared and angry, and I felt like I did not belong anywhere. Transitioning was also stressful and exhausting for my mental and physical health. I suffered from anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. I felt hopeless and worthless, and I wondered if my life was worth living. I also struggled with body dysphoria, which is the distress and dissatisfaction with one's physical appearance and characteristics. I hated my body, and I wanted to change it as soon as possible. I also experienced gender dysphoria, which is the distress and discomfort caused by the mismatch between one's gender identity and assigned sex. I felt trapped and suffocated, and I wanted to escape from my reality. I decided to seek professional help, and I found a therapist who specialized in transgender issues. He was kind and compassionate, and he helped me cope with my emotions and thoughts. He also helped me access medical care, and he referred me to a doctor who prescribed me hormone therapy. Hormone therapy is the use of hormones to change one's secondary sex characteristics, such as facial hair, voice, muscle mass, fat distribution, and breast size. I started taking testosterone injections, and I noticed some changes in my body and voice. I felt more masculine and aligned, and I was happy with the results. I also wanted to have surgery to change my primary sex characteristics, such as genitals and chest. Surgery is not a requirement for transitioning, and not all transgender people want or need it. But for me, it was something that I desired and needed. I wanted to have a flat chest and a penis, and I wanted to feel comfortable and confident in my body. However, surgery was expensive and risky, and I had to wait for a long time to get it. I had to save money, find a surgeon, get a letter of approval, and go through a lot of tests and preparations. I also had to deal with the pain, recovery, and complications of the surgery. It was a long and hard process, but it was worth it. I finally had the body that matched my gender identity, and I felt free and happy. One of the best things about transitioning was that it improved my self-esteem and happiness. I no longer hated myself or my body, and I felt more comfortable and confident in my own skin. I also felt more authentic and honest, and I did not have to pretend or hide anymore. I was proud of who I was, and I celebrated my identity and expression. I also experienced less anxiety, depression, and dysphoria, and more peace, joy, and satisfaction. I felt like I was finally living, and not just surviving. Another great thing about transitioning was that I found love and acceptance in the transgender community. I met other transgender people who understood me and supported me. They became my friends, my family, and my partners. They shared their stories and experiences with me, and they gave me advice and guidance. They also helped me find resources and opportunities for my transition and my life. They made me feel welcome and valued, and they made me feel like I belonged. The last but not least thing about transitioning was that I became an advocate and ally for transgender rights and awareness. I realized that I was not alone, and that there were many other transgender people who were facing similar or worse challenges and struggles. I also realized that there was a lot of ignorance, prejudice, and injustice against transgender people in the world. I wanted to change that, and I wanted to make a difference. I started to speak up and speak out about transgender issues and stories. I joined and supported various transgender organizations and movements. I also educated and informed others about transgender topics and realities. I hope to inspire and empower other transgender people, and to create a more tolerant and respectful society for everyone. Finally, we would like to express our gratitude for watching till the end. We hope you found the video valuable and informative. If so, please show your appreciation by hitting the like button and leaving us a comment below. We are eager to hear from you. In the end, we have a humble request for you. We are trying hard to keep you enlightened and empowered by creating awesome videos like this. Please support us by joining our membership program. The link is in the description. Your little contribution will inspire us to make more awesome content for you like this. The next video will be published tomorrow, so don't miss it. Till then, take care. More wisdom, more solutions, better life.